You're listening to a Leisure Moment podcast with your host, Deetra Helvey, who's always ready to have a casual conversation about her love for literature.
From a bachelor's degree in biology to a Ph.D. in anthropology, this debut novelist has entered the wonderful world of writing. T.A. Maclagan brings to the scene suspense, action, hints of romance, all twisted together. Currently living in New Zealand, no problem. Distance didn't stop this casual conversation from happening. Enjoy. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? This is Deetra with a Leisure Moment.
Hi, it's nice to be visiting you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. We're excited to have you as well. So I guess you've gotten your little one off to school this morning?
I do. He's safely installed at Kindy, having a ball, no doubt.
It's so amazing how technology is just so awesome, because here it's the afternoon. We just finished Sunday dinner, husband grilled out a little bit, and for you it's already Monday and the new day has started.
I know, it's crazy that way.
Well, you are our first international podcast, so we're pretty excited about that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Skype's amazing these days. It really helps me keep in contact with people in the States.
Oh, absolutely. Now, tell me, T.A. Maclagan, did I pronounce that correctly?
Maclagan.
Okay, and your friends, what do they call? Do they call you T.A.?
No, they call me Tiffany, or Tiff.
Tiff, okay. So is it okay if we call you Tiffany?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Wonderful, Tiffany. So you are a debut novelist coming out with They Call Me Alexandra Gaston, coming out in May?
Yes, on the 20th.
And I looked at your, blog, and it seems like not only are you a writer, but you're a blogger as well. You've interviewed a lot of authors.
Yeah, I'm having a really fun time with that because I don't get to go to the States but once every couple of years. I don't really get the opportunity to talk and connect with other authors. So via the interviews, I'm able to do that, which has been a lot of fun.
So what inspired you to write? Have you always known that you wanted to be a writer? What inspiration led you to this first book?
I definitely did not know I wanted to be a writer. Growing up, I didn't, write short stories or any kind of stories, really. I did, however, daydream a lot, so I was always creating stories in my head, but I never even thought about writing them down. How silly is that? And then I was studying anthropology at university and getting my doctorate in anthropology, and it was as I was writing my dissertation, which is about 300 pages, that I was like, man, it'd be so much more fun to write a book where I could, use my creativity instead of using just the facts, because dissertations are a tad bit boring. And I was like, oh, I need an outlet for my creative side. And I'm like, oh, I should try to write a book. Because books always seem so massive. I'm like, how does somebody write 300 pages of something? But after I wrote my dissertation, I'm like, well, I know I can write 300 pages of something. Now I just want to write 300 pages of something interesting.
Right.
So I
So you didn't write it at the same. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say you did not write it at the same time that you were writing the dissertation.
No, I did not. Although I have several of my friends that have actually written novels while they were writing their dissertation, but I waited until after I was done. And actually, the first thing I wrote was a adult medium-boiled mystery set in New Zealand with an anthropologist. So write what you know. Mm-hmm. And it was as I was editing that I rewatched the movie Salt and got the idea for a young adult novel.
Right.
And I had just been reading Hunger Games at the time. I'm like, oh, this young adult genre is really cool. And I hadn't really, that was the first thing I'd read in it, Hunger Games, which is such a great introduction. Mm-hmm. And so after that, I just started exploring YA, and oh man, I fell in love. I'm like, those were the books I should have been reading and writing as well. So that's how it came to be.
Well, tell us a little bit about Alexandra. First of all, looking at the cover, it just kind of really speaks to you. It's interesting. Did you have any part with the cover, or tell me a little bit about that connection piece?
I actually was very fortunate to have quite a bit to do with the cover. My publishing house is very open to authors giving their ideas about covers, and they ran each of the different covers by me. And this was, I think, the fourth one. And we wanted something that definitely had a spy vibe. So you see the red color and the black and gray, which if you look at a lot of adult spy novels, they tend to have that color scheme because it kind of harkens back to all the Russian spy novels.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why that color scheme was chosen. And then they played around with her face on the cover, and she used to be standing back at quite a distance. But we weren't connecting with her standing that far away, and you couldn't really see her eyes, which are two different colors. Heterochromia is a big significant aspect of the novel,
mm-hmm.
how she looked. So by moving in on her, we could see more of the eyes. And then we were getting close. It was the third draft. She had already moved in, and we could see her really well, but her face, suddenly her expression seemed really flat, and that's when we got the idea for the rifle scope over her. And by putting that rifle scope there, her expression kind of morphed from flat to really defiant, which we thought was really cool. So I was so happy. I'm such a cover junkie. Like, I have pictures of cool covers in my office, and I've actually blown up Alexandra's cover and hung it on my wall. So I was so excited to have a cover that I really loved and to be part of the process. And Full Fathom 5 was great about that. They weren't satisfied until I loved it, which is so awesome because I hear authors have almost no opinions or aren't valued their opinions for covers very often. So.
Well, author Lindsay Cummings stated in a partial review, "Bring on the sequel." So tell our listeners about Alexandra. They call me Alexandra Gaston.
Well, it's about from a small country called Alyssa, obviously not a real country. She used to be Russian in some of the earlier versions, but we decided to take her away from that and create a small country. So she's a sleeper agent in the States. She was placed in the States when she was 11. The person that she took the life of was killed in a car accident along with her parents, so she's placed with a grandfather who works for the CIA. And pretty much she was placed with the idea that she would work for the CIA someday and be able to pass secrets back. So she's not doing a whole lot of spying. She's just kind of sleeping and waiting. Mm-hmm. But then the story really starts up when they actually just choose to activate her. So she's having to do spy stuff and juggle her boyfriend and her feelings for her boyfriend, which are growing, even though they shouldn't be because he's just an asset, and juggle normal high school stuff and friends and things like that. And I love playing with the idea of somebody that's leading a very secret life, how attached they would become or not attached to their friends, what kind of struggles that would be if you're having to always pretend to be somebody you're not, mm-hmm. and being told exactly who that somebody is. So that was a lot of fun for me.
And to have something of this theme and this focus in the YA arena will be very interesting for our young adult readers as well.
Yeah, I thought it was really fun because the teenage years are about finding your identity, but then what if your identity is dictated to you? So a lot of the undercurrent of the novel is about identity and her discovering and choosing who she wants to be, as she has to make a decision between the people in her old life and the people in her new life, and her loyalty to her country and things like that. It was just really fun to play with, and yeah, very fun.
So you really had a long period of writing your dissertation, then writing a book. After you finished writing the book, talk to us a little bit about the process of getting this book published.
I
was just going to say, was it quick and easy for you? Because sometimes I've heard that, with a couple of inquiries regarding that, or it takes a little time.
No, it definitely took a little time. I was pretty lucky in finding an agent. My agent's awesome. It's Lucy Carson of the Friedrich Agency. So I did just 2 rounds of queries before I found her. And after the first round, I got feedback from a couple agents, and I had to go back and fix what they were commenting on. It was a very valuable criticism. So I went back and tweaked the novel, and then I sent it out for another round and picked up Lucy pretty quick. But then it took about a year to sell it. And we were revising that whole time based on different editors' thoughts on the novel. So that's part of the reason why she's no longer Russian, and she's from a small imaginary nation. And but all those editorial critiques just really helped morph it into something so much better than it was. Like, I'm really, even though it took so long, I'm so happy because I'm so pleased with the final product. I think the first one was good, but I think this one is so much better. So, and it was definitely a learning process. I feel like I learned a ton through the experience, even though I had to wait, and I was on the edge of my seat every day checking my email like a mad woman. So.
Now, being in New Zealand, do you find that it is somewhat difficult to kind of find yourself among maybe writers groups where you can bounce off ideas, or do you solely lean on yourself and your publicist?
I have found it a bit hard. After I'm done with the promo for Alexandra, I'm going to work on trying to seek out a New Zealand writers group, because I know there must be some. I had a little bit of one when I was in Christchurch before I moved to Wellington, just a couple of friends and I that were interested in writing, but nothing too serious. So a lot of what I depended on was beta readers from the States, and then Lucy, and then my editor. So I would definitely like to expand that. And I've made some connections via my interviews where I feel like now I have other people to run ideas by, which has been really great. I'm a little bit of a introvert, so it takes me a while to reach out to people. I need to work.
Well, and I think you have, do you have a tour that's currently going on, or one that just finished up, a blog tour for the book?
We have a blog tour starting May 20th.
Okay, so readers will get a chance to listen to some reviews as well, see some reviews, see some spotlights of your book before it actually is published on the 20th. Now, just looking at your Twitter account and your little summary, you mentioned Joss Whedon. So is it safe to say that have you seen the latest Avenger movie?
I haven't. My husband was gone this weekend, so I couldn't get out. I didn't have a babysitter, but it's definitely my plan for next weekend because I'm a huge fan. I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agents of Carter, and all those things.
Well, I watched it this past Friday. My youngest,
was it good?
It was very good. My youngest said, "You know what, Mama? I want to go to opening night of a movie because I've always gone to all the Twilight movies. We would stay in line for like hours and hours and hours and hours. Same thing for the Hunger Games, all of those things. So I couldn't deny him. So myself and even my father, we went, and I thought, I'm not really going to be able to get through it because it just really isn't my thing. But it was pretty awesome. It kept me on the edge of my seat for a long time, so you won't be disappointed at all.
I'm excited. My son started to really get into superheroes, and I've tried to steer him more towards the Marvel universe than the DC universe, just for that. The reason for those movies and for Joss Whedon and the shows, and I can't wait till he's a little bit older and we can watch all that stuff together.
Wow.
Joss Whedon is brilliant. I love him.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Tiffany. We can't wait to get this out and let people know about They Call Me Alexandra Gaston that's coming out May the 20th, and also a link up for the blog tour. I'm pretty sure that our sister website, Once Upon a Twilight, is going to be involved in that as well. And our very own Mariah here at A Leisure Moment will be reading your novel as well. So readers will hear about your novel throughout the month of May.
Oh, great. Thank you so much for helping me get the word out.
Oh, you are most welcome. And then you'll have to check us out when your next book comes out as well. We love repeat visits.
Oh, thank you. That would be wonderful.
Well, I hope you have a great morning, and thanks for joining us.
You as well. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
We want to thank all our listeners again. Check us out at aleisuremoment.com. You can like us on Facebook and Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. And check out our new YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up. Have a good one.